Hello YouTubers, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to convert these fluorescent fittings above my head into LED fittings. So it doesn't really matter if you've got any electrical experience at all. Hopefully the way I show it you might be able to do it yourself. So this is the whole purpose of this video. Okay, let's have a go at it. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be replacing the capacitor, starter, the choke. Because this is a twin fit and you might have a single, but it doesn't matter. You just have one choke, one capacitor and one starter in it. I've got two because it's a twin fit, and so I'll be replacing it, taking the other choke out and the other starter. Now, this is my replacement LED. It's got two pins and it says there on the end, single end input must be connected this end. So there's only a live and a neutral supplied directly to the end of this. Okay, where on your fluorescent type of fitting you've got wiring connected both sides. Okay, I'm not going to be using that side there. I'm going to be taking the wiring out of there, but I'll be taking the actual tube holders down to actually show you how to take the wires out, because we're going to need that skill set to actually reconnect these other two end caps here, these tube holders. So all I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be putting a neutral on this side, neutral on that side, a live on that side and live on that side, just to correspond with them two pins. Okay, so this I've got supplied with this here is a 2 amp fuse. There, might have a bit of fuse on it there, and you can see there it says 2 amp. 250 volts, not quite focused up. Okay, now they've cleverly made these so they can actually go into the starter here. Okay, so I'm going to be leaving the wiring in for this starter. I know you can't see it very well, but that's because the tube's on. I'm going to be cutting the power off to it shortly. So I'm going to be leaving the wiring for this starter and the base, obviously. I'm going to be removing the other starter totally, so the wiring and the base. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to knock the power off, and then basically we're going to replace all this wiring from this connector block. But I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll knock the power off now so you can see, because the camera won't focus. Okay, now so I'm going to start off here now. This is the main wiring that you'll have coming in here. Okay, I'm not going to touch that. All I'm going to be doing is disconnecting everything from this side, all three connections. This is screwed. There's a little clip coming off here. It's the earth clip, so I'm going to undo that, undo these two here, and then totally disconnect all the wires. Then I'm going to chop all the wiring to the capacitor, starter, choke, or two chokes, and this other starter motor as well. Okay, we'll get on with that. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to just slide that off the little lug now. There you go. And there's that little lug there, and all the wires are disconnected now from the main block, main connector block. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to chop all the wiring to the capacitor. There. And there. I'm going to leave the wiring on this starter here because the wire runs towards that tube holder. I'm going to be reusing that. That's good. This is going to be my new fuse, and that is going past this connector block, so I can chop it there somewhere and then reconnect it here. So I'm just going to leave the wiring on that for now. So then the choke number 1. Bit weird holding the camera while I'm doing this, but there you go. Okay, choke number 2. And I'm going to be chopping starter number 2 there and there. Okay, so that's everything all disconnected now, so I can take this down. Be careful with these capacitors because they can stay fully charged and you get a hell of a belt off them. So just disregard that and discharge it, and you're done. and you do that by just shortening the two wires that come out of it, that's all. So we're leaving that in. Now I've purposely left, you can leave all this stuff in if you disconnect it. I thought for the purpose of the video it'd be easier for to see the wiring all coming out, and then when I'm putting the new stuff in, it's going to be easier for you to actually see. So if I just take these out now, I did slacken them off before, but not very well. Let's just go and get me, I've got a little socket here. Okay. I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll take the tubes out instead. Why don't I take the tubes out all? Okay. Taking the tubes out. Okay. If you just turn them half a turn, you should see that little clip there? That's, and just pull it straight down and then out. And next one. Until you see the clip there, pull it straight out. Okay, that's the other one out. And now I'll be able to get at them nuts a little bit better. You can use a pair of pliers for doing this or anything, but I've managed to find a socket that fits. So I think I must have damaged the end of the thread, slacking them off. Okay, there's one off now. Okay, so all I should need to do now is pull it off one because of the slot on the other end, and it should just slide out like that. Here we go. That's one out. Now let's see if we can do the same with the other. Yeah, there we go. That's that one out. Fell out my hand. Okay, this should just pull out the starter, so we don't need that. So now all I'm going to do now is I'm going to start dragging out wires I don't need. I'm going to put a mark on there. I'm going to actually label that up for you so it's easy. So this is the end that we're bringing that supply to, the power supply. Okay, put that top in there. So we're going to have a neutral on that side and a live on that. A neutral on that side and a live on that. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing here, I'm going to be utilising the wire out of this one, and basically I'm just going to take the wire out of this and I'm going to connect it into that, and then the other side into this side as well, and then just bring two wires, live and neutral, back to that main connector block along here. Okay, and but the live is going to jump into this, what's going to be our fuse, before it goes back to the block, and that protecting the actual tubes. There's two fuses supplied with these tubes, but they're only 38 watts a piece, and it's a 2 amp fuse, so I don't see the point in putting two of them in for each tube, you know, because even two of them together won't even pull 1 amp, you know. So I'm just going to use one fuse to fuse both tubes, 2 LED tubes. Okay. Right, I've come to the other end now. That's having no power on it. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to snip all the wires, all 4 of them, from the tube holders. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, like I said before, I'm going to take this down so you can see how to take them wires out, because we're going to have to be swapping wires in at the other end. Okay, so I'll just keep them nuts handy there. I'll take this one out. Well, I'm only doing this for the purpose of the video. I could actually do it inside, but I couldn't actually do it with hold the phone as well. And with it being on the ceiling and stuff, I'll actually be in the way of the camera, you see. So I'll get this on the bench and we'll take this out. There we go, off, and we'll get it on the bench. Okay, so here we have the tube holder now. As you notice, as the wire comes out where the round bit is there, okay, and there's a slot in above there. Now to take this wire out, all you need to do is actually put the actual a very flat screwdriver, and I really mean a small screwdriver, or I mean I've got this pin that I've ground a flat on it. So and all you do is you just push it in there. Okay, that releases the clip inside, and all you have to do then is just pull the wire out, and that pull the pin out again. So I'm going to do the other side. Same again. Put the tool in the top, release the clip, and then pull the wire out. Simple as that. Okay, you see it better there. There's your slot where you stick the tool in. Okay, I'm going to do this inside one now. There. Tool in. Pull the wire out. Same with that other inside one there. Tool in. Pull the wire out. Okay, so that's what I'm going to have to do on the other side. Okay, to bring my lives and neutrals out. Simple. I'll put this back up now. I thought before I put this back up, I'll just go over the connections, what I'm going to do on the other side. Obviously, this is the one that's not going to have anything because I've taken any wires to it at all. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you what I'm going to actually do with the wiring, just to make it more understandable. You might only have one of these. You might only have a single fluorescent fitting to convert. I've got a twin, so I've got to do this. But you'll basically just have two wires, one from there, a live and a neutral, going back to your main connector block. Or if you decide to put a fusing line on the live. Okay, but this is what I've got. I've got two wires coming out of here. Okay, and they're coming across here, and they're going back past the connector block. Now all I want to do is chop them wires round about here, so I can pull them back and reconnect them into this. Okay, the two wires come from this, they go that way as well, and they go up towards the connector block as well, but I want to keep them ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a loop in around here from these two wires, so I've got enough to, and I'm going to chop them so I've got enough to reconnect into here, and then from there onwards, where I've cut them this side, I'll pull back out, and the rest of the wiring from the chokes and the capacitors and stuff like that. So I'm just going to draw you now what I'm actually going to do. So we're going to be having a neutral from here to here, yeah, and then from here back towards our main connector block, and then we're going to have a live coming from here and into there. Okay, the other wire, live wire, is going to come out up to the main connector block like that. So we've got a live and a neutral. So we're just taking our supply, our live and neutral, from this one here. Okay, so we'll get on with that now. So if you notice there now, I've actually pulled a loop in these two, because these two wires come to this side. Okay, so what I want to do, I want to chop them there like I'm going to now. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull these two wires out of there like that, and they're going to go into that there. Okay, these two wires now that I've just chopped can be pulled out, so what I'll do is I'll just pull them out. Okay, there, and they go all the way there. Now I'm just going to pull them there for now. I'll pull the rest out later. Oh, and this other one goes to here, to the main connector block, so that's one wire out. Now if they go that way, they should pull out. Right, okay, now these are the two wires for that were the capacitor, so I'm going to pull them out as well. So now all we've got going back to our lamp holder there's two wires there, look, there's your shadows here. Okay, so come back there. One's going to our, what's going to be our fuse, so that'll take the starter out. Okay, so we're jumping in the live there, coming through, and we're going to connect these up into the main connector. So if I get my cutters, and I'll just get that wire, this one here, yeah, that's going to be our live. Look, pull it out there. So okay, so I can chop that down now long enough to go into that connector block. Okay, this brown wire here can come out that way to the choke. This wire can come out, going back to the one end that's dead. This one can get pulled out. Okay, and that one there. Right, so now we've got a fitting with just two wires here left, going in and out of our fuse holder now, it's called, and back to here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to connect, get live and neutral to this other one from there. Okay, so now I'm going to reconnect this end now and get me power from this one to that one. And basically, if you watched earlier on in the video, all we have to do is to actually strip that back. Okay, that's going to be our live, and I've dropped a clanger there nearly. They're going to put it in the wrong side. So but all I have to do now is push this wire inside the hole. Okay, so just cut it long enough, Ollie. Right, there you go, just push it in, and that will make an electrical connection. That now, and it won't pull out. Make sure it's in. There we go. So that's first one in. Now our neutral. Chop it off, strip the cable back, and then just push it into the hole, and that will make a connection. That's sound. Okay, so this is the business end done here now. So all I'm going to do now is follow the wiring back now towards the new fuse we're putting in, and follow the wire from the other side of the fuse and make sure that one goes to the live. So I'll move the camera and show you that now. So there's our fuse to be, and if I can just find the fuse, I can put it in after. Right, so I want this wire, I'm going to pull it here. I want to make sure to get the right wire there, that one. So what I'll do is I'll bend that back so I know that one's going to be the live and this one's going to be the neutral. So what I'll do is I'll connect these two up into the main connector block now. Okay, so we're going to be connecting up into the main connector block now. So it take a couple of minutes. Get your proper screwdriver. There we go. Oh. So I know this one is my neutral because that one I folded back is my live. So what I'm going to do is just going to pair that back. Now if it's only a small wire, I normally like to actually fold the wire back, which most electricians do. If you've only got one cable in. Okay, so I'm going to connect that in now. That's going to be my neutral, which is the blue wire here. So I'm going to connect that in there. Just undo it a bit. I'm going to connect the wires in first because I can see what I'm doing. And then what I'll do is once I've connected the wires up, the live neutral up, I can connect the earth back onto the lug underneath, behind here, this lug here. Okay, so let's connect my live up now. Same again, strip it back, fold the wire over, because with this being a solid stranded wire, if you don't fold it over when you tighten the screw up, with copper being very soft, you could actually snap the wire when you get it all back together again and the cover back on, it might break off with all the rattling. So this is the earth here now. You see my lives connected up. So I'm going to put my earth back on this lug here now. Okay. Not sure whether you can see that lug. Yeah, you can, yeah. So I'm going to put that back on there. Slide the earth back onto it. Like that. Oh no, you can't. Let's just move it. Just move it up a bit more. There you go. That's the lug there. Okay, so we're going to put that, slide that main connector block back on, tying it up onto the earth lug. It's important that you must connect your earth up, because if this fitting ever became live, there'd be no short circuit to take the main fuse out. Okay, so always connect your earth up. If it's a metal casing to any appliance and you've got an earth wire, make sure it's all connected. Okay then, so fuse, let's put my fuse in. Okay, I'm going to unclip you now, and just in case you're not seeing this, but the fuse, the old starter base there, you can see the way that, just some light fittings in it. Got them two, you just push it in and twist it. There we go, that's the fuse in now. And that is all ready for test now. So I'm going to reset this camera up and put the tubes back in, the LEDs in now. Okay, so there's my two new tubes in there now. So I'm just going to power them up now. There we go. No flickering, straight on. And just unplug this. This is the light I've been working off. This is another LED. This is a more expensive one. But this is the reason why some people might choose to do this, because these LED replacements, full fittings with the LEDs in them and the casing and everything. This one particular one here, it's called a Modo, and it's quite an expensive one. It's about £120 a piece. So and I quite like these fittings because of them diffusers that I've got there, you see. So I want to keep these fittings, so it just worked out better for me in the long run. So just unplug this big light off here, and then you might be able to see it a bit better. That's nice and bright, that. So let's get that diffuser on and see what it looks like. There you have it. That's with the diffuser in now. And I must say, for half the wattage, or more than half the wattage, over the full fitting, it's a hell of a lot brighter, I think. What I'll do is, I'm going to put, I've not had this, I've got another fitting here which is wired in. I've not had this one working for ages. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the tubes in now from the old tubes from this fitting into this one and do a comparison for brightness. Okay, YouTubers, right, what do we think now? That's the old, and that's the new. You'll probably find it difficult to tell with my phone, but with the camera, but I can tell you the LEDs are a lot brighter, so I'm happy with them. Brilliant. Don't forget to subscribe or thumbs up. Any questions, just ask. Brilliant.